welcome back. Today we are going to compare two different breast shapes, and I'm joined by Lauren and Angela, who are going to help me illustrate the difference between a shallow top, full bottom breast and a pendulous breast. These are two very commonly confused breast tissue types. So listen carefully, and I'm going to try and point out the key things that are going to help you distinguish the difference. The first thing to look for is where your breast roots attach to your body. So on someone who is shallow top, full bottom, you might see that depending on the size, they're going to have some level of gravitational pull where it looks like the breast tissue is sort of dropping to the bottom here. But the way that she's attached to her chest wall is still on the wider side. If you see here at the center, and then I'm just going to have you rotate a little to the side, you can see that she's still has a wide attachment. The second thing that you look at is the placement of, or the weight of the tissue. Where does the tissue weight reside? So when she turns sideways, you'll see that up here, she is sort of missing that breast volume. A lot of times this happens with age, not with Lauren here, but a lot of times this happens with age or after breastfeeding, that you lose this sort of top cup volume. But because you have breast roots that are widely attached, the volume and the roundness of your boob kind of sits sort of towards the bottom. So when you look at where your nipple is, and then you see it sort of shallow up here, and then you get this roundness and fullness in the bottom, that's very signature to somebody who is shallow top. When you compare that to somebody who's pendulous, you'll see that at the top, she has a narrower attachment, and the way that her breast roots are, you'll see that it's actually very narrow in this position as far as where her tissue attaches to her chest. The other indicator you want to look for is where the weight is, right? So first you look, where are the nipples? And then what you see is that her breast volume is all sort of facing downward. Her nipples are actually pointing south, if you would. So the type of bra that Angela needs versus Lauren needs are two very different styles, and I'm going to talk you through the features of those bras in a moment. So now we're back in our best fitting bras based on a shallow top breast shape and a pendulous breast shape. So some of the things that a shallow top customer is looking for is they really want to see and when you're fitting somebody who's shallow top, you really want to see that their breast volume gets kind of lifted back up to where it probably used to be. They're looking for more roundness in the top of their neckline. And so when you're picking a bra, La Femme happens to be a great option because the thin foam pad and the way that it's set in the frame with the wire choice lifts her tissue up seamlessly. And the way that the neckline is finished with self-piping, it holds the cup to the breast. The second style over here that we're looking at on our pendulous friend, Angela, is elevated allure. And why elevated allure is great for a pendulous customer is because when you're pendulous, you want to have something that has a higher center front. Because remember, your tissue, you have a lot of tissue that's kind of more cylinder-like and lower, and all that tissue has to go back up into a cup. And so when you pull it all back up, you need a higher center front in order to hold the tissue in. The second thing that's really important for somebody who's pendulous is that your strap placement is over your nipple, because this also helps pull and lift that tissue back up to a very flattering spot. So the combination between the height of the center and the strap placement are two things that you want to look for if you're a pendulous customer. So this is Lauren wearing a 32 Triple D, so consistent size, but the wrong style for her. You'll notice that the way that this bra is designed, the coverage is too much, And since she's shallow, she's not filling out the top of this cup. So she has this excess here that's no good. So when you're a shallow top customer, you have to be very mindful of the shape and the placement of the neckline. So here you could see Angela wearing her size, a 34 double D, but in a bra that doesn't fit her. You'll notice that the center front is too low for her, especially pendulous breasts really need a higher center front to help hold the weight of the breast tissue. And as she turns to the side, you'll see that, again, the way that her breast tissue is in a natural state is sort of longer, leaner, and on the underarm, the way it's working into this wire, it's stacking and kind of giving her this double bubble. So it's too low in the center, and the wire shape is not quite right for her pendulous tissue. You don't even need to know all of those details as long as you could self-identify what your breast shape is. If you use our My Bra Fit app and you plug in what your breast shape is, our recommendation tool will tell you what bras to try.